y'all? It's your girl, Tatiana Limena, and we're back again today. We have a story time today. A real life horror story. When I tell you horror story, I mean horror story. Okay? This a real life horror story. This ain't no girl went to Miami with her besties and we all came back now friends and she's broken, they're broken. It's not one of those story times. As much as I really wish it was one of those, it's not. So, yeah. It's more like girl got robbed in a foreign country while unconscious, under anesthesia, during surgery. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's so crazy. Yeah, buckle up. Okay, so boom. I'm in Istanbul, Turkey, right? I go out there for surgery, solo trip. And if you've done that, you already know the drill. Paperwork, vitals, blood work, IVs, all that medical jazz. You already know. Everything's going smoothly. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. But that's to be expected. You know, you're about to go through a major life-changing surgery. It's about to change my whole life. This is a cosmetic surgery on my face at that, you know? They tell me to change into the hospital gown, and you already know if you've had surgery before, no jewelry, no piercings, like you can't have anything on your person. The only thing that I wasn't able to take off were these braces. Like everything had to come off, everything. So the little key that I had to be left. The time comes, I'm completely naked under this little gown. I can't take my safe key into surgery with me. So what do? I grab my purse and, I try to hide it to the best of my abilities. I take it and I try to hide it in my bag. That's already a mess. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in there, I'm a woman. A woman's purse it's a lot going on in there, So I take the key and I put it deep into my bag. Was it Fort Knox level security? No. But was it in the deep depths of a woman's bag? Yeah, it was deep in there. You really had to know what you were looking for to go in there and find it. If you know anything about women's purses, good luck trying to find anything in there. Unless you know what you're looking for. Anyways, they wheeled me off to surgery, put me under anesthesia. I'm under for hours. I'm unconscious for hours. Vulnerable. Completely vulnerable. I wake up groggy, sore, confused, emotional, the regular post-op vibes. And I'm thinking, okay, all I need to focus on is healing and documenting this journey. Baby, I wish. That same night, I go to count my money because something in me is just telling me to do it and something just feels off. So I go ahead and go get my bag to count my money. You know when you just feel like something just isn't right? That's the feeling I had. My intuition was telling me that. That's what my intuition was telling me. My intuition was telling me that something was wrong and that I needed to go count it. So that's what I did. After I paid for the procedure, I had a little spare money with me. I brought more than what I needed in case there was anything that came up, anything extra I had to pay for food, in case I wanted to go shopping. Anybody that's going to a foreign country is gonna have extra money because you never know what can happen abroad, especially alone like I was. I had $1,300 extra with me during surgery. I go to count my money after surgery. $300 is missing and I'm left with $1K. $300 gone, like it was never there. No explanation as to where it went. Don't know what's going on. Very confused. I count it back 3, 4, 5 times to make sure I'm not the one going crazy, Now, y'all, I'm sitting there in a foreign country, freshly out of surgery, stitched up, in pain, violated. Like, it was just so crazy. Like, I couldn't believe that that was actually happening to me in that moment. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel cared for. I felt like a clown. Like, how did somebody dig through my purse and find that tiny little key and steal from me while I was literally under anesthesia? That's a different type of evil. And yeah, a part of me was mad at myself. I kept thinking, like, how didn't I hide it better? Why didn't I hide it better? I should have been more careful. But you know what? I shouldn't have to expect people to be criminals. I was focused on surviving surgery. I didn't go to Turkey to play FBI with my bag. That experience really shook me. Like, imagine waking up with stitches and a hole in your trusted wallet. Being in a country alone where you don't know the language and you're trying to recover, also while trying to figure out who stole from you. It's traumatic. Now, let's get into my theory. And let me just say this first. By no means am I accusing anybody, because to tell the truth, so many people had access to that room. So I really don't know who it was. I can't really tell you who it was. A lot of different people had access to my room. So for me to just say it was this person is wrong. I'm not going to accuse anybody. I'm not going to say it was one particular person. But I will say who I'm leaning towards, who I think it was. I'll say that. You feel me? Nurses, hospital staff, my private nurse, the cleaners. It was literally like a train station in and out of that room. So realistically, it could have been anyone. I'll never know for sure. I'll never know for sure. But my intuition was screaming. I ended up posting about what happened to me in this WhatsApp group chat that I'm in for people who are interested in going to my specific doctor. You know, just sharing what happened to me, putting it out there so that whoever is coming next up after me knows that they should be careful with their belongings when they're here. I'm just sharing what happened. And boom, this girl responds. She tells me that she had $500 stolen from her while she was under anesthesia too, at the same exact hospital that I was in. Different day, same situation. And a couple days later, I'm scrolling through old conversations in that WhatsApp group, right? The girl who mentioned having $500 stolen from her had the same exact private nurse that I had. The same exact private nurse. Do with that information what you will. What really made me feel a way about the situation was that I ended up talking to my private nurse, and I ended up telling her about the girl in the group chat. I ended up telling her that the girl in the group chat said that someone had stolen money from her as well. So I was just letting her know, like, hey, I'm not the first person that this has happened to while here. Like, I'm not the first person. I know I'm not gonna be the last. So, I'm just chatting. We're just chatting it up, talking about it. I'm just letting her know that there's this girl in this group chat I'm in who said she had 500 stolen from her when she was here and she was at the same hospital block. All that stuff. Instead of her being like, wow, that's crazy, or wow, like, we should report this, she's very adamant that her boss not find out. She doesn't want me to make it hot. She doesn't want me to talk about it too much. And that just set off a couple flags in my head. That part right there really had me squinting, wondering what's going on. Now, is that a coincidence? Maybe. Is it suspicious? Definitely. I'm not saying she did it. But it really made me pause. And I was staying with this lady for 48 hours after my surgery. Now, let me tell y'all what happened when I reported it. I already knew my little $300 was good as gone. They bring me to this little room and they start rolling the tapes, making me watch security footage as if that's going to help. Y'all, I was really sitting there watching security footage like I was on CSI Istanbul. The whole time we're sitting there watching the footage, I'm just knowing it's pointless. Like, what is watching this security footage going to do for me? The security guy was acting like somebody was gonna come out of the hospital room holding up the $300 like Rafiki was holding up baby Simba. I don't know if he thought they were gonna moonwalk down the hall with the 300 in hand or what, but all I ended up getting was a stale apology. The security footage showed nothing, just the usual suspects going in and out. So I just took my little stale apology and left. They probably needed the money more than me, whatever. So please let this be a warning to all my baddies traveling solo, especially for medical trips. Be extra paranoid. I don't care if it feels excessive. Lock your stuff up. Get a travel safe that's code only. And if you can't, hide your key in your sock. Glue it to your wig cap. I don't care. Get creative on them. Just protect yourself. Unfortunately, people will take advantage of you when you're at your most vulnerable. Anyways, I'll be doing a cast off and a 3-month update on my nose. That video will be up real soon. If you want to see the transformation, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you have the notification bell turned on. And please comment if something similar has ever happened to you. I need to know that I'm not alone in this, because these type of stories do not get shared enough. We glamorize surgery and travel abroad, but we never really take the time to talk about the real risks and the reality of it. Love y'all. And next time I get surgery, best believe my man is coming with me. Bye, y'all.